All right. Hi, everyone who may end up deciding to actually watch this. We're living in a really strange landscape right now. So, myself and my buddy Glenn here wanted to create something that would be positive for people to view that are educators and trying to make the best of this landscape where many people might be teaching on first time or have really limited experience and dealing with the reality that we're going to be doing this for who knows how long in various parts. So, quick intro to me. My name is Dr. Kyle Jones. I was an English teacher for many, many years, and then I got sucked into administrative work. So, I went to the dark side, I guess. But what's important to me is still supporting teachers and supporting great work in classrooms. And I'll let Glenn introduce himself, but a little bit of history between us. Part of the reason we're doing this is we've kind of had a mentor-mentee relationship for several years now, and we both believe in a lot of the same things, which is caring for students first, building and driving classrooms full of empathy and care, and the amazing relationships and then learning that can happen when you build that kind of space. We want to replicate that online. We're going to try to share some really great, intuitive, caring things and things that will kind of uplift you in this weird time. Glenn?
Yeah, so my name is Glenn Rhoades. I'm a 10th grade English teacher at Linear High School in Sugar Hill. And yeah, it's definitely crazy times. This is year 5 for me in the classroom. And I just keep thinking about this really cool project that I was doing with my kiddos. And I was like, yep, we'll leave this here on Friday afternoon and be back to it on Monday. And it's just sitting there. It's driving me crazy. So it's tough. It's really, really hard times. And there's a lot of anxiety and stress and fear out there. So like Dr. Jones said, just having a voice for something positive right now is really what we're trying to do. So.
Yeah, we don't have a name for this. Maybe a name will come out of it. If somebody watches this and thinks of a cool name, let us know.
Yeah.
We'd love to have it. We'll share our Twitter handles at the end in case anybody wants to connect with us past this. But we're going to kind of get into it. We want to start these off by kind of like sharing little anecdotes of some really positive things that have happened in the last week or the last 24 hours even, depending on how many of these we kind of share with everybody. So mine, because I'm in a role of support for teachers, one of the big wins that I got last week is once we found out that Adobe was offering Creative Cloud services for students for free to download apps like Photoshop and InDesign and Illustrator and Adobe Premiere. Because of the teachers I support, they use those things, right? You know, they're using that stuff. So got into action immediately to work with our technical teams in our district. And within about 4 days, we were able to get that access greenlit. And so our students starting really today can start downloading that and using that for however long we're out and they still need access to do projects or connect or get their hands on the instruments that we're trying to get them ready for a professional career in.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic the way companies are coming together to really support learning and students right now. It's a big win. It doesn't really matter what your role is, just really trying to get in there and work with some of the new tools that are available. It's exciting. And I think we'll touch back on that again towards the end of this video. But my win for the week was just the interactions with the students. So I've been really trying to walk this very, very careful line between having everything count for a grade and like do it for a grade versus like do it because you authentically want to and trying to make things that are actually meaningful for students. So one of the things I'm having my kiddos do every day is you got markers? I'm having my kiddos create just journal entry every day. So this is something that's not my idea. I found it on Twitter out there, and a lot of really great people have been talking about some ideas. But just the times we're living in right now are monumental. So students can be creating primary documents that might be like super helpful to historians down the road, or they're just capturing their own thinking, or they're working through something that is an emotionally difficult like space. So giving them the opportunity to journal and kind of capture some of that thinking just every day, not making it explicitly about the like a virus or a situation, but giving them the space to do that. And I didn't make it mandatory that they shared it with me or even turned it in, but I've got several now that are sending me their journals every day just to kind of have a dialogue. And it's kind of created this space for me where I'm going to be turning that into a community. I'm going to use something like Padlet, where students who want to post their journals every day can post for other classmates. And it's turning into this like non-graded thing that's just kind of being birthed out of this opportunity. So, you know, while things are really difficult and strange and scary, I think we're at a really unique place to deal with learning and kind of move away from some of the trappings of like what school is, you know, and how it's learning online and not school online.
Yeah, those are really important points, I think. You know, what I also love about what you're seeing right now is the reality too of working from home, you know, and I've got a lot of family support on my end. So our little girl is having a chance to spend time with grandparents while we all kind of self-isolate. But the reality for Glenn and his family is his little girl is sitting on his lap right now, kind of enjoying our conversation along with the rest of you. So it doesn't get more in real life as this, I don't think.
Yeah, no, and that's where our students are, and kind of remembering that, like, we're all trying to figure out this together. So grace is definitely the word of the day.
Yeah. So one of the things we're going to do is we got 2 other segments we're going to do. We're going to try to keep these videos to about 10 or 15 minutes at most, so it doesn't take up a lot of your time, but it's still useful. So one of the things we're going to share is we're always going to kind of try to show a digital teaching hack of some kind. We may change that terminology, but for right now, because Glenn really is on the front lines of doing this online work, and he's been even balancing the master's degree online somewhat, as well as trying to teach online. He's really having to build this tool belt on his own and working with others collaboratively. So we're going to do that. And then as we end, I'm going to share a couple of things that I call what's the good word. And that's just a chance to kind of show you where are some resources you may not know about, as well as some uplifting news about what's kind of going on in the world. And then we kind of wrap up. So, Glenn, I'm going to let you take it over, buddy.
Cool.
So you can show us what's going on.
Like, one of the things that I hope you're noticing is I don't have a fancy webcam. Like, I really wish I did. You know, I wish I had some fancier tools. Like, I love that Adobe just came out with some new products, but the reality is I probably don't have time to make really fancy videos for my kids. But I didn't want that to stop me every day with connecting with my kids. So I've been doing videos every day, and that's just been my avenue for connecting with kids. Zoom is great, but a lot of my students have brothers and sisters, like they can't be at a particular Zoom meeting. You know, learning is something that's really fluid right now. So having a video that's an anchor for them that they can come back to whenever they need more information. You know, it's also an opportunity to show realness. Like, my kids can see a completely different side of me right now. So that's really helpful. Just a tool that's natively on your Windows 10 computer, which I think is fantastic. But if you just come down here to the search bar and type in camera, bam, you've got a camera app. Now, of course, it's not going to let me use this app because I'm using Zoom right now on my webcam. But what you can do with your camera is literally just record. You can just record really simple videos, which is super useful for your students. Now, again, it's not about creating, you know, beautiful videos or complex videos or highly edited videos. It's really just about creating that connection. So use the app that's there. It's right there on Windows. If you come in here to Video Editor, that'll actually allow you to edit your videos. And this is something I've been using like religiously since day one. It's a tool that's on every Windows 10 computer that allows you to just basically create and edit videos. You come in here to start a new project, type in your title, and you then pull in your video files right from your library, add them to your what you're pulling in here. This is one that I used earlier. Let's say you've recorded some videos on your phone that you want to use also. You can pull those in too as long as you've saved them to your computer. And you can pull in multiple video files, place those in your storyboard, and you can do all kinds of things like add in really fancy 3D effects. You can add in title cards. You can add in filters. You can split and edit the video any way you'd like. So that's super fun. But it just creates a really great way for students to kind of interact with you on a daily basis. So yeah, this is just I made this in that video editor tool. So I added in some of the fun effects. I don't do it on all the videos, but there's a little fire that just appeared in my office, and there was some fun confetti. I think there's some bats that fly at one point because I'm talking about some of my pets that I have over there in the back corner. None of them make a visit, I don't think, in this video. Oh yeah, there is I did find a 3D bug that you can add. There's all kinds of cool 3D creatures.
Well, it makes it asynchronous, right? So they still get a chance to hear a message from you, but they can check in when they can or when their best avenue to do so is. And so just out of curiosity, along with this, what are some ways you've offered for them to connect with you when you're not all gathered together online at the same time?
Oh, well, definitely email's been huge. I love the fact that my Gmail, I've got it on my phone, so I can just pop back with them real fast. Text to speech has been like a lifesaver because, I'm chasing around a 2-year-old. So literally being able to press the little mic button and just ramble into my phone. But I'll usually end every single message with a, this message has been sent using text-to-speech. I apologize for any typos, and just press the send button. Because like half the time it's an adventure. We went outside and played in some rain puddles today, which was super fun. But it definitely makes things challenging. I know a lot of teachers are using things like Bandcamp. That might be a tool that we look at in a later video. Keith Phillips at Linear High School has had great success with that. Some people are still using Remind. There's a lot of really great tools out there, to try. Google Voice is fantastic for calling parents that are at home that you're trying to get in touch with. That's been a great tool. The county's approved it actually for us to use for phone calls. We just have to set it up from a personal Gmail account.
Yeah. So that's going to be the kind of the purpose, going forward, is getting an opportunity to share what these tools are. And hopefully you're as excited as Glenn's daughter is to learn more about them. So as promised, the part 2 of all of this is we want to share some of the other good news and things that are kind of going on right now. So this is what I'm going to share with you. If you haven't heard about it yet, Amazon through Audible is offering a chance to get connected directly to stories. And this is free. You don't even need a login. It's just plain all out accessible. Amazon as a company sometimes doesn't always get the best press on necessarily how they treat their employees or some of the other stuff. And we won't get down in that rabbit hole. But we can celebrate the fact that they are certainly trying to help educators and parents at home. So if you're a parent, not necessarily an educator watching this, this is for you as well. What's really cool about this, after you kind of get into and start listening, is it's all it's in 6 different languages, and it allows students to hear different cadences and voices in these stories. So if I click on this to kind of pull you into it, you can see that it's got a little bit of everything. So you've got your littlest listeners, your elementary, your tweens, your teens, and there's even some literacy classics. And you can tell, again, that a lot of it's also put in different languages, kind of depending on what you might need to give access to. If you're teaching in a district that's similar to ours, we literally have over 100 languages that are spoken in our district. So the need is really great to connect kids to versions of these stories that aren't necessarily in English, so they can engage in this too. So I definitely encourage you to check this out on your own at some point. But there are lots of really great connection pieces here, or opportunities to do literacy in your classroom, no matter what your level is. So highly, highly encourage some exploration here. The second thing I want to show you is, it seems like this is going to be weird, but it's actually an article from NASDAQ's website. So it has to do with Hasbro as a company. They're seeing some gains right now in a time where the stock market is really uncertain, but it's because families are engaging in interactive board games and card games again at a level that we haven't seen probably in a long time. So there are parents and people trying to seek out these chances to interact and connect with their kids. And, at gut level honesty, part of it's probably like, man, I got to keep these kids busy. But there's some great games out there. So in sharing this, they're kind of beating their chest about how they're seeing some gains. But with the demand, they're seeing all kinds of brands up. So people are buying Play-Doh at a high level. If you've been a Magic the Gathering fan, it is reaching new levels as well. I know that that's a little bit in me and Glenn's background even. So they're excited, obviously, as a company, but we're excited as educators and parents, right? Like we're seeing a whole new level of engagement of families right now, and the time that we're spending with each other and really spending time with our kids. So to me, this is actually exciting news. And it sounds like they're going to be able to supply things too. One of the things they boast about is as our virus issue kind of subsides in China currently, their production is actually back up. So there's opportunities, I think, to get in on this if there are things that you're looking to engage your own kids with, or, if you're a teacher, just trying to make it work with your kids at home. This is definitely one of the things to consider or think about. And then we kind of wanted to end things by sharing some really uplifting things that we're finding around the internet. So in our district, we had this really wonderful group of music teachers who came together last week when we started this whole thing. And they used this app called Acapella, where they just kind of all recorded themselves doing different parts of the same song. And it won't say it's gone viral by any means, but it's something that's been really appreciated and loved on in our own community. So Pygmyville Middle School is where you could actually see the tweet. I would play it, but you won't be able to hear it. I haven't figured out those audio settings yet, so maybe one day. But a very cool piece. And then just finding some random things you can even see on Twitter, such as this tweet here. I don't know who Louise is, but I feel like I'm seeing more and more of these comments that Louise is kind of sharing with, whether it's her Twitter feed or other social media, just feeling connected right now in the education community. She seems to be a parent as well, and just looking to uplift one another. So that's what we want to encourage you to do too. And then I'm going to navigate over here for Glenn, but he's also found a great tool on Facebook to connect you.
Yeah, so a lot of teachers have put together this online teaching ideas community on Facebook. And if this isn't your jam, if this isn't your community, I would encourage you to try to find one, but definitely check this one out. You can ask to be added to this group. So far, we've got about 300 teachers in here, and they're from all different levels. So there's college professors that I had at Kennesaw State University. There's elementary teachers. There are teachers that are elective teachers. So it's just a fantastic community where we're coming together to really talk about tools and resources and kind of keep ourselves motivated and healthy because it's difficult times. We kind of need some validation.
What's this?
She's looking at Medusa right now. But it's just a really great place for us to share. So like J.K. Rowling, for instance, opening up completely to the fact that we can read Harry Potter to our students without copyright violations, or different tools from teaching at home, different online platforms. We're asking questions of each other like, how do you use this app? Or, hey, have you tried this before? And just being able to get that quick response. There's also some humor. That's a joke. I think one of the teachers is charging her spouse for snacks. Because those things go fast, right? Like, I mean, you can go through all your snacks really quickly. But yeah, it's a great tool.
Well, in an effort to try to stay true to our goal of 10 to 15 minutes, we're going to sign off. But just so you know, in case it'll be helpful, you can connect with me online through Twitter at the Prof Jones. And then Glenn?
I am at gchance668. And we really appreciate talking with you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you back tomorrow.
All right. We're going to keep sharing. Thanks for watching.